Pack one, pick one. Uh, I was thinking it'd be cool to get to draft Lorehold in this event, and then we literally opened Lorehold, which is cool. I suppose you could make an argument about taking Putrefy and see if you can stick like Wheel the Blood Researcher, but what do heck? Like this is 7 mana. It's an investment, but you get what you pay for in this case. There's a small novel on it that says win the game. So we're going to take it. I'm not going to force Lorehold. I'm going to hope we can play this. I might be able to wield the elemental summoning, but we'll have to see where everybody is here. Yeah, we could play it in Prismari. We could Mardu it. I actually really like Lorehold. Lorehold is probably my favorite of the colleges because it seems like nobody else understands them. This group may, which would obviously make it somewhat worse. So it's difficult to step away from we opened Lorehold, we need to play Lorehold into what's the best card in the pack, but that's what I need to do here. Because a bad Lorehold deck that I'm forcing is not going to be as good as what's actually open. Because like the Artist and the Pilgrim would both go very well with that. I don't actually think there's a card here on power level that I should take over a Bloody Campus Guide, though. Well, Cultivate may actually be the pick. Yeah, I think it is. I think this is the most powerful card here because this is allowing strategies. Yeah, I think it is. This could lead us into all sorts of different things, and it generally seems like people won't play Witherbloom in these tournaments. I don't know if they just think it's bad or what. So here, I'm kind of thinking about taking the Mage Hunter. Because Lorehold Apprentice kind of sucks in Lorehold decks. I've made it work. I think that draft we just did, we got like a couple pings off of it, but this is not what's going to make me want to play Lorehold. The Mage Hunter could still go in like a Mardu Wedge. And if my thinking is correct and people are just not going to draft Witherbloom, I can take it. Because I really need to see if that Blood Researcher wheels. So let's take this and see where we're going. The draft doesn't start until pick 5 anyway. Okay. So we actually do have a couple good Lorehold cards here. Primarily the Tome Shredder and the Rescuer. I don't see any cards that would put me into Witherbloom. So we could probably take the Celebrant. It's fine. Like that would kind of commit us to red. It's a decent 2-drop, but it's mostly just a piker, and like don't think that it's much more than that. It's fine. But we can probably play it and then see which of these two wheel. Ideally the Tome Shredder wheels, and we can actually just play Lorehold. That'd be swell. That's what I want. I have won a game off of Revel in Silence, but I would not think that's likely. I still almost want to hedge here. So many people are on Jeskai variants, but Pop Quiz is just better than these other cards. This looks like a hot mess, doesn't it? Well, it doesn't have to look beautiful now. It has to look beautiful at the end. We're painting a picture. It's like one of them Bob Ross paintings where you're like, what is he doing? And then at the end, you're like, oh, it's a forest. None of those cards are good. I don't want to play that. But see, here's the thing. Now we end up here with a pack that has unplayable cards for everything and 4 cards Witherbloom would want. Witherbloom wants the Troll, the Amplimancer, the Poet, and Infuse with Vitality. My experience has been when I'm drafting pods with good players, they don't want to play Witherbloom. So, again, we're going to look weird here, but bear with me. We're about to see if that Herpaderp wheels, and if it does, we got something. I do like the Historian in Lorehold and in Prismari. What are the chances that we should be looking at green-blue? Because this is kind of the moment where we can take the Drake or we can take the Historian, and it will forever change our path. If we wield the black-green card, it's fine. I don't have enough time to think about it. Okay, so we've got Silverquill Pledge Mage, Lash of Maps, Lorehold Pledge Mage. I'd have to main red. I think I need to take the Lorehold Pledge Mage for a playable. Silverquill Pledge Mage would be interesting too. Yeah, I could play that in either green-black or red-white. This is our wheel pick. I need to see what's still here. And it's the Owl and Shield Mage. The moment of truth. There are 2 Witherbloom cards missing from this pack. I cannot play Witherbloom. Witherbloom's out. I think I actually want the Shield Mage, and we're either going to be Silverquill splashing this or just straight up Silverquill. I think the green-blue train is gone for us. I think Silverquill is actually open. What a difficult navigational point. But that would put us probably here. You can't play Esper. It doesn't work. I can splash this and I can make that work. Yeah, the campus guide's still there. I can find another campus guide. What do heck? All right, so we're in Mardu something. I'm playing white at this point, so we take Defend the Campus. I actually really like Go Blank. I like Go Blank a lot, but I think they're like I'm still not quite sure if we're Lorehold or Silverquill. This is the Sloth, because now all of a sudden this looks a little better. And it is getting more interesting. Done. Okay, so we're not blue. We can let that one go. I would certainly play the first Rise of Extus, happily. We'd also play Piggy Storm. Go Blank is a very unique effect, but there's a lot of targeted discard that you can still find in this format. Shock, I think I'd rather have Rise of Extus than Shock. Although Shock does play nicely with the Pledge Mages. The issue is the Rise of Extus still lets me ride that line of are we playing Silverquill or are we playing Lorehold? I think we've identified that Lorehold is more open, but I need to see a few more cards. So I'm still valuing flexibility kind of incredibly highly here. But we have found our lane, and now we just buckle in and ride it right on through, because this card's great. I think realistically, I wouldn't want to be playing the 2 Shield Mages and probably wouldn't want to play 2 Relic slots, but I could. But this is a good rare for us. We'd also be interested in Piggy Storm, Thrill of Possibility, Rescuer. We could play a Discovery. We could play a Lorehold Pledge Mage. But I guess we got our wish. We get to play Lorehold. Now if we can time travel and take the Shock over the Rise, I might do it. But I think there's better things you could do with the time machine than go whisper in your ear, take the Shock. It's 3 mana, draw 6. How is that bad? All right, so the Pilgrim is actually going to be an integral piece of our build here. The Umbral Juke is a little concerning. The Verse is a little concerning. But I think at this point, if we're planning to hit our land drops, we're going to be interested in Pilgrim of the Ages, and I am interested in that. The second cultivate, like we found our lane. It's time to draft it. There will be good cards for our deck. We just ain't hit them yet. Somebody is ever so slightly train wrecking this draft by overvaluing lessons. So my bet is that I can beat this pod and then I'll get knocked out as soon as we get out of it. Okie dokie. Sold. Still not sure if my table understands this card. There's no lesson here, so somebody's just grabbing all of them. I would guess one of these players, but that's fine by me. Pass me Quintorius while you're at it and a couple of 2-drops. I would like this. I think I can wheel this, and I might play it, but I think right now we need an expel. I don't have super cheap removal, and I would like super cheap removal. Well, that's not even great super cheap removal, but it's playable cheap removal. I could sort of see playing history here. I'd like to be playing a version of this deck that wants Pillar Drop Rescuer, but I don't think I am. I think we would be fine with a Piggy Storm. I think I'd also consider playing a Letter of Acceptance. But this is getting us to the point where I've got functional removal. Oh Lord, I want all of, can I take the pack? I want literally all of these cards. It's irresponsible not to take the Pillar Drop Warden here, so I have to take it. But I very much want more Historians and Spirit Summonings. Player count's the same. It's 8 people bods. Alright, I'll play 2 expels. Hold. Me too. We'll find some. There's one if I want to play it. Don't really. Grown-up pigs suck. There's a possibility somebody has a good artifact. Let's have an answer for it. It'll get 2 ones out of the way too. We're pretty likely to play the Thrill of Discovery. This will make me comfortable just playing 18 lands. He is the host, Villanate. I might end up playing that too. It looks like we don't have enough cards to make a deck, but we do. This deck could potentially play the wall. I don't really want to, but I could. He streams too, and he's in my chat all the time. He's a cool dude. I doubt we play that, but sure. Defiant Strike may just go in. This pack missing a few things for us. I'm interested in Tome Shredder. Tome Shredder Archivist and Expanded Anatomy. Yeah, we're not I mean, Damon's a great card, but obviously can't take it here. I think I like the Shredder. It's not exactly what we want, but we're not really getting a great version of this deck, but we're getting a playable one. I'll take it. Funny, the one I drafted on the ladder a minute ago was better. And it didn't have Lorehold in it. Combat Professor adds a lot to our arsenal, as does the campus and the summoning. I'm nervous about the summonings because somebody at this table is picking them incredibly highly, which means we're just not going to have access to them. But I think if this is just 6 mana Romage, it's still pretty good. I got tons of mana sinks too. I really want an Archivist for this deck. I might not get one, but I'd rather have a Combat Professor guaranteed than a Summonings in the sideboard. Right? Like, what if we even got to go get it? Right? We've only got one learn card. Like, if the table's fighting over those, I'll just draft a solid deck. Because, like, I don't need Rise of Exodus to go get a 2-1. It's not going to matter at that point. That is exactly what I think is going to happen, Band Geek. I think I literally said that not that long ago. Yeah, like normally I'd want to value this environmental sciences, but I think somebody's going with the 1-drop guiding voice shenanigans. And it's hurting us here because there's no guiding voices for me. That probably puts us on either Second Pilgrim or Lorehold Campus. And I think the value of good mana and a scry is pretty high here. So I'm going to take the Campus. Yeah, that's exactly what I think is going to happen. We're going to win the pod and then get knocked out immediately in round 4. If I had to guess. No, it's okay. It's okay. Wadu? That ship has sailed a long time ago. We're pretty happy to see the campus guide. I'm hopeful that we can wheel one, but I don't have to. I can win without it. And we've got plenty of playables down here. So like I could bring in another Sloth. We could play the Pledge Mage. We could play First Day of Class. I really wouldn't want to, but there's plenty of playables. So we've got us a deck. It ain't the best one I ever seen, but it's good enough. So what would the cost for us be if we splash Closing Statement? I think it frankly might be better just to play the Biblioplex Assistant. Yeah, if I'm playing Lorehold Excavation, I think I would be happy to have access to this as well. Well, the thing about Anatomy is how am I getting it? Right? I'm not. The answer is I'm not. We don't have any learn cards. So I think somebody at the table has all of the learn cards and all of the other access cards, and that's it. But like our color pair is clearly open. You don't pass 2 mana, 3 damage if you're playing the color pair. But somebody's got a brew going here. I suspect somebody is on the Silver Quill one drop aggro plan. Rip apart is a sorcery. We did learn that yesterday. Okay, I was going to say there's nothing here for us, but then there was. And I'm pretty happy to have another one of these dudes. So if this is the deck plus a couple of these things, we're good. Yeah, the Star Pupil Kill 'em all deck, and we're actually pretty weak to it. Yeah, yeah. Detention Vortex is not good. There's another Historian, an Introduction to Prophecy. I think I'm just going to play the three Historians and be pretty happy about it. If we took the campus guide, it would mean that I could splash the Shield Mage, which I don't think is crazy. I think I'd rather just play all of these Historians. Second, defend the campus and the sideboard doesn't make me unhappy. I think we're probably on another Sloth and maybe a combat trick since I'm playing so many twos. Well, the thing is, if I have the other campus guide, it's mostly the same card. I think I may have just been wrong to take it there. We got our archivist. That's good. Because, like, this is a historian if I have Lorehold Excavation in play, right? So what it means is I would need to put literally one swamp in the deck and we could play the Owlin. Whereas this would just be better if we never drew the Lorehold Excavation. I could jam a Fuming Effigy. I could also, like, cut this Celebrant and play the other Pilgrim. I think I'm quite interested in that. Do I want to Spirit now? I don't think I do. These are all things that we could have access to. I've got to think about the Thrill of Possibility, frankly. Because it seems like you could put it in this deck, but I don't really know what it's adding for us. There's not a lot of hits for Home Slice, but like Piggy Storm, these are all fine. I think I'd rather start with this. Yeah, I think I'd be pretty happy to start with this. It would really surprise me if we sided in that pacifism. It's incredibly bad. Those cards are so bright. This is my dedication to trollery. It is incredibly slow to click these lands out in this interface, and yet still I'm doing it. Four, five, 6, 7, 8. I don't understand why it's so slow. And we've got to fool them with our sleeves. I think we just rebel and use Azorius slaves. We were just in the middle of a draft with the Lorehold deck that was quite good. It's 3-0 currently. All right, let's do our Stream Raiders battle. We've been holding y'all hostage for a little bit. And then I'll see about getting us paired in there. We're up against DC first. That's a chunky turkey. The worky turkey. God, those fries were so good. He's been doing a good bit of streaming lately too. DC's good people. I think we got this one. Yeah, he streams. Give him a follow. You can even watch his side of this if you want to, but no spoilers, please. Rabble with the kills, Rob with the assists, rewards for Scorpy, Orcish, Cosmere, and my favorite person, Sim Wife. I'll get my prizes later. We got a tournament to win. I mean, we're all nerds here, Bandgate. Well, you are a geek, I guess. Fair.